Hey, and welcome back again. It's another daily episode of the Daily Crypto News with me, Chris, aka Vibement, and also I always have my partner with me.
My name's Scott, or Crypto Beast. Happy to see you. I'm part of the marketing for BigONE, and happy to be here and go through our daily news briefing.
Welcome, welcome. And today, I think I'm going to start off talking about some of the crackdowns that they have right now in Russia for the crypto mining. So the country is considering a special electricity tariff for crypto miners due to the growing energy consumption. So kind of similar to what was going on in China when they start seeing these power grids, go up. They're talking about doing a little bit of a crackdown in Russia right now.
And that makes sense. It, I guess in the same sense that Russia probably has energy issues to begin with. So I could see why they would want to protect their citizens when it comes to mining cryptocurrencies. I think where we have the benefit is in South America, where you have like El Salvador and some of these other countries looking at the geothermal side of mining, like using the steam from volcanoes and that to actually mine Bitcoin. That's how they actually mined their first Bitcoin here just recently, sorry. So that's always great. So hopefully some of these other countries latch on to the other ideas of mining these tokens to be more energy efficient and work towards something that will make it sustainable.
I like it. So what's something else that you heard in the news today that you that popped interest in your mind?
You know, I said I was going to surprise you with this one. I don't know if you've heard this yet, but Shiba Inu is about to launch Shiboshi's NFTs. So I didn't know about that, but I just found out about it. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see them list their own NFTs as well. They do have that Bones network, but listing this is going to put them at another level. Like everybody's kind of trying to bash Shiba a little bit, I feel like lately. So it's kind of nice for them to come out with more info. And then of course, like I mentioned earlier, there's 250,000 signatures to Robinhood for them to list them on there. So, I mean, this Shiba army, I guess, is going to have a huge impact when it comes to furthering the token. And we had the same kind of thing with Doji at one time, and in some ways, I feel like it's dying a bit, but and Shiba is kind of seeming to take that over a bit. But I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I feel like kind of the same way. Like I wouldn't say like it's a takeover, but I would say like they're definitely the newer investors are taking interest into the Shiba project as a meme token versus the Doge for the people who got in a little bit earlier on Doge. I did see something today that said that they were on the 24-hour volume. They were recording more volume than Doge right now, and it actually moved them in the top 10. And they're definitely in the top 5 of the meme coins, along with Floki and Doge. So I think they're going to have a pretty good run. And then something else I seen that was interesting today. We talked about Binance and their $1 billion fund yesterday. TradingView actually came out with a $298 billion fund for their evaluation. So they're going to have a new funding for about 2.98 million for TradingView.
Oh, that's crazy. That's going to be interesting the way they do that. And you can buy certain cryptocurrencies on there on TradingView as well, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
I think it more so with the fund, they're actually going to use the funds to actually build out something that's like more so their own platform to do exchanges, whether it's a wallet or an exchange.
Can you imagine if they come up with their own token? That would be kind of interesting.
That would actually be pretty fun.
I'll probably buy in a little bit. Not financial advice, but I probably
For sure. What's something else that caught your eye today?
Also, I read about Elon Musk Tesla is already $1 billion in profit from holding Bitcoin. Now, I remember just not long ago where people were teasing him about buying Bitcoin with Tesla and when it went down, but I guess he could be like, look at me now.
Oh yeah, I think as regulations come about in the U.S., people will start seeing why the big companies started housing a lot of the Bitcoin, and it's mainly because here in the states, the taxation is way different as an individual versus an actual LLC or a corporation. So they're actually leading the way silently. So people that are in the crypto, if you have if you're mining or you have Bitcoin, another way to declare it is through an LLC or through an incorporated company.
Okay, that makes sense. What's your next pick?
DeFi has been a hot topic lately in North America. Like DeFi was the topic of a cryptocurrency in 2017, but this year, the monthly transaction volume across the region has been more than 1,000 on DeFi in the States. So they just the reporters or the people who was looking it up they say that it's just because of the DeFi space growing in the States. Like before, it was growing internationally in 2017, whereas now it's a little bit. I think cryptocurrency is taking a seat here in the States, and DeFi might be one of the leader sectors outside of Bitcoin and altcoins.
That's interesting. I actually like that too as well. Another article I read was about they did a short form that kind of confused me because they went ASIC with it, but it's actually about the Australian Securities and Investments Commission are actually going after pump and dump groups on Telegram. I mean, this is a first step, I think, in a lot of steps that we're going to be seeing governments and different agencies actually going after these pump and dump groups because they want to legitimize, I feel, cryptocurrency in a way so that we don't have these pump and dump groups. It is market manipulation in the end. So, I mean, that kind of stuff definitely needs to end.
No, I agree. I think that's going to be one of the first forms, maybe like regulations throughout countries. But I think what we're setting up for is something that's more self-regulated. So I think that's a good start for countries to step up and try to take the initiative. But overall, I think it's our space or the crypto space in general, and it's for us to protect. So we have to learn to protect it through the contracts and trust the devs.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And like here again, I seen this kind of when El Salvador adopted Bitcoin. I seen the same name. So new IMF reports call crypto a threat to global economy, and I'm sure that's because of our market cap that they have in cryptocurrency right now. But in the same sense, I mean, these guys are trying to, it's almost like they're trying to manipulate the markets themselves by saying the stuff that they do. They just don't want to let go of their power in some ways. But I mean, if they work with cryptocurrency and find a way to legitimize it, I think it's going to be the benefit of the IMF or the SEC or whoever is willing to work with it. That's the next evolution of cryptocurrency in the end.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think when you go along, when you think about that, you have these countries that don't mind changing their financial institutions and financial structure, right? But then you have older countries like Mexico, who's probably just getting caught up in technology of banking, where like their fiat is much lower in comparison to other countries' fiats who have the infrastructure to actually change their financial institution or their financial plans. And I seen something today that said like Mexico was saying that they had to maintain their traditional banking system. So I think like with I don't want to say third world countries, but with countries with less economic value, I think they'll be like the countries who come in a little bit later. But I think going forward, the countries that have the infrastructure to make the change, they will make the change into a digital currency.
I just got to drop this little bomb too. I wonder how you might feel about this, but I'm kind of excited about this. Bank of America report says crypto DeFi are only in the first inning. This week, Bank of America published a favorable crypto report detailing its analysis of the sector. It states that cryptocurrency has become too large to ignore, adding that despite the phenomenal growth seen to date, the industry is still only in the first inning. So you can imagine, for me or you, like our early investors in the cryptocurrency, this is going to be huge.
Oh yeah, especially in the DeFi sector. Like a lot of people are caught up on the NFTs, right now, and that would be your retail investors. But a lot of the institutions are actually eyeballing the DeFi space to see where they can kind of get in and like make their argument or make their kind of solidify their spot into the DeFi section. A lot of the banks are picking up Bitcoin, and that'll be for lending platforms, whether people still use traditional fiat or not. The bank would actually be using Bitcoin to back those loans. So there's definitely it's gonna be an interesting fourth quarter, and then going on, I would love to see how DeFi is gonna like take presence with the banks, or how banks pick up on DeFi.
Yeah, I agree with you. This market, like, we're in such a state of growth that it's incredible. I do feel like the NFT side of things, I just have a feeling, and it's me speaking maybe ahead of myself here, but I do feel there's going to be a heavy regulation on NFTs in the next while. We're not hearing about it, but I just have this big feeling that it's coming in the near future. I mean, the money that's pouring into there is incredible and it's great, but I think there comes to be a point where, is it laundering somewhat for some people? Is there something that's hidden there that we don't really know that needs to change? But I think we're going to see an impact on that market in the next little while.
I would agree and disagree a little bit. Like I think as long as you can make it or you can keep it as simple as peer-to-peer, it's hard to put regulation on peer-to-peer, right? But when you set up these farming yields and these staking pools, it's not peer-to-peer anymore, because you're actually sending something to an actual ICO, so you're looking for a profit in return. But I think the NFTs sector is very new, and if we're 1 to 2 years out, in my opinion, for DeFi regulation, I would think we were at least 3 to 4 years out on regulation for NFTs, just because it contains a lot of artists and a lot of artistry. So that would actually make it a little bit tougher to regulate, because that is more of a peer-to-peer transaction. If you wanted an actual transaction between you and your favorite artist, I think a lot of people would actually bite on that and wouldn't mind leaving out the middle people. So I think the NFTs will be very interesting. And I can't wait to see where NFTs go, because they have the biggest bubble to fill in my eyes, not the biggest bubble to pop. And speaking of growth in the crypto space, yesterday we were itching around 2.3 trillion. And today we seen highs almost to 2.5 trillion. To today's high was 2.48 trillion on the market cap, with Bitcoin having dominance of 45.99. So almost 40% of the dominance led by the grandpa Bitcoin. And then Ethereum picked up a little bit of dominance from yesterday. It was 17.5, and today it's at 18.5. So there's currently 48,000 market pairs out there. So if you guys are looking at market pairs, or you don't know about market pairs, may be a thing to look into, especially when some of the dominant alts are taking the lead right now. Might be smart to add some pairs into your portfolio. But again, I'm Chris, aka Vibin. I have my guy with me, Scott. We appreciate you guys coming through for the daily crypto news. I'll let Scott say his piece, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, for sure. All I got to say is, you guys come check out BigONE. Come check out our trading platform. Come check out our futures. We got some exciting things that I can't even talk about yet that I've heard, and it's going to be exciting next week. That's all I can say, but I mean, look forward to everything. It's going to be fun, and I expect growth like no tomorrow, but no financial advice as always.
Always. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again for tuning in.
Have a great day. Bye for now.